Welcome back. I am Collins Trott, Child Development Faculty on the Wallace Community College Dothan campus. In this episode, we are going to be learning about production, consumption, and decision making. In other words, economics. Young children are aware of economic concepts because they experience them daily. While children are not ready to reason abstractly about economic issues until they reach the ages of 10 or 11, they encounter economic concepts daily and express a high level of interest in them. Since economic illiteracy is widespread, it is important to begin introducing economic concepts early. After reviewing all of the week's content, you should be able to explain the importance of economics in early childhood education, discuss the key concepts and themes that children can explore in the study of economics, and learn ways to begin to teach and introduce children to concepts of economics. So join me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about production, consumption, and decision-making, economics. Young children experience economic concepts daily. Children enter the preschool primary classroom knowing that it takes money to make purchases and they can offer some services or product to get money. According to the National Council on Economic Education and the National Council for the Social Studies, it is critical that all children be economically literate in order to function in today's and tomorrow's global economy. If all people had everything they wanted, then knowledge of economic concepts would not be critical. But today there are major differences between what people need and what people can have. Thus, an accurate and workable image of the social system in general and the economic system in particular is increasingly essential to human survival. The concepts of scarcity, the difference between the unlimited wants of people and the limited goods, services, and materials available is a major concern of economic education. Economics is the study of how goods and services are produced and distributed and the activities of people who produce, save, spend, pay taxes, and perform personal services to satisfy their wants for food and shelter, their desire for new conveniences and comforts, and their collective wants for things such as education and national defense. In their play, children reveal some understandings of economical concepts. They use economic scripts as they play store, pretend to see and purchase goods. They pretend to use money to obtain services. Nevertheless, like the geography and history concepts, children's economic concepts are far from fully developed. Not until after age 9 do children fully understand the value of money and comprehend the idea of credit or profit. Using knowledge of children's awareness of economic concepts and the direct experiences teachers can introduce preschool primary children to essential economic principles. By organizing children's experiences around economic key concepts, teachers can introduce children to the main ideas, including scarcity. The wants of people everywhere are unlimited, but the resources are limited. The necessity of decisions regarding the use of resources, the function of production and consumption, the concepts of trade and barter, and the idea that money is exchanged for goods and services. Jobs and careers, which is educating children for future career choices and roles. Using knowledge of children's awareness of economic concepts and their direct experiences, teachers can introduce preschool and primary children to economic principles and key concepts. A good place to start is with the basic needs of living things. People need food, air, water, clothing, and shelter in order to live. People may want cars and toys, but they can live without them. Illustrated bulletin boards and picture sort activities of needs and wants can help children distinguish between the two. Basic needs of living things can be easily integrated with geography and science. Involve children's families. Families also have many needs and wants and limited resources to obtain them. Ask the children to name all of the things their family needs to live, such as shelter, food, and clothing. Since these needs are cultural universals, they can be used to understand needs, wants, and scarcity, as well as to extend children's knowledge and understanding of others, both close to them and in faraway space and time. Many classroom experiences can be used to introduce the concept of scarcity. What things does the class as a group want? Which things do they need? Do we have enough supplies? If supplies and materials are limited by shrinking budgets, that conversation is a necessity. Scraps can be saved for later uses, brushes no longer useful at the may be washed and used outdoors for water paint, or junk can be collected for sculpture projects. The ability to make wise decisions is an integral part of the study of scarcity. People cannot have everything they want, and sometimes not even everything they need. People must make decisions about which things they need and which they want, and choices among the things they want. Children can find many opportunities for making choices within the classroom. Children who have had little opportunity to make decisions about their lives, which families they will have, the school or church they will go to, the neighborhood they will live in, or the clothes or food they use, need classrooms that are replete with opportunities to make choices and experience the consequences of their choices. Teachers of young children seek to give them the most wide possible freedom to choose what to play with, how to play, and how to make things with a minimum of restrictive control. Closely related to the concept of scarcity is the concept of production. The function of production, to some extent, is to try to meet the unlimited wants of consumers. In a democratic society, people choose the goods and services they consume and produce, although advertising and consumer demand influence both. The concept of distribution, how goods get from one place to another, is related to production and consumption. The concept of exchange of money is related to economic production as well. Consumers use money to purchase goods and services. Children can develop concepts of being a consumer and the function of money and the differences between the goods and services, production and distribution. Children are interested in what the adults in their world do at home, school, and in the community. They are exposed to many different jobs in their daily life. Children often say, "I want to be a," when I grow up. The study of jobs helps children learn job specification and diversification. Adults do different things, each having a purpose tied to goods or services. At home, children can identify their parents' jobs and talk with them about their work. In school, they can walk around the building looking for all of the jobs that people do and interview some of the workers doing them. In the community, children see doctors, police officers, grocery store clerks, and so on. The class can generate a list. They can also generate lists of producers and those involved with distribution, like truck drivers. The various jobs can be studied in many ways. Now, let's review what we've learned. The major economic concepts appropriate for preschool primary children are ideas about scarcity, decision-making, and the function of production, distribution, and consumption, as well as jobs and future career choices and roles. You introduce the concepts through children's experiences, both incidental and structured. Every day, children experience the concept of scarcity. They must make choices. They must conserve materials and energy. They must consider their needs and wants in relation to available resources, and they need to make responsible decisions and learn to live with the consequences of their decisions. As consumers, children develop an understanding of the producer concept. Some produce services, others goods. Goods must be distributed to consumers. Money is required to pay for both services and goods. The diversity of producers' work lead children into a study of different kinds of jobs, as well as the resources that producers use in their jobs. Even though their working lives are far in the future, preschool and primary children are not too young to learn basic attitudes toward self and work that will prepare them to make wise decisions about future career choices. The skills of identifying jobs, decision-making relating to others, and learning basic skills are part of career education. Although research supports introducing young children to economic concepts, it is important to ground your teaching of concepts in children's concrete, everyday experiences through an integrated whole curriculum. If children are to gain necessary awareness of and develop initial economic concepts, they must be involved in experiencing, doing, and acting for themselves. That wraps us up for this episode. You can learn more about this topic by reviewing the resources posted in your course. As always, if you have any questions, please contact me or your instructor. Thanks for joining me, Miss Trott, as we learn all about production, consumption, and decision-making economics. See you next time.